Hello students, welcome to the second topic of national income and related aggregates. In the previous topic, we have discussed about the GDP and its two types, the real GDP and nominal GDP. In the in this lecture, we will discuss about we will understand the concept of real GDP and the welfare. We all know that the real GDP is the market value of final goods and services produced in the domestic territory of a country during an accounting year, estimated on the constant prices. While nominal GDP refers to the market value of final goods and services produced in the domestic territory of a country during an accounting year, estimated on current year prices. But in this topic, what is the relationship between real GDP and welfare? We know that the real GDP means the value of goods and services estimated on constant price. So, if the real GDP increases, the value of goods and services in the economy will increase, like health services, education services, transportations, infrastructure, etc. So, the welfare of people will increase. And that's why the real GDP is known as the index of welfare. So this is so that there is a positive relationship between real GDP and welfare. If real GDP increase, welfare increases. If real GDP decrease, the welfare will decrease. So there is a positive relationship between real GDP and welfare. So the real GDP known as the index of welfare. But there are some certain conditions where this generalization between real GDP and welfare is not applicable. There are some conditions where the increase or decrease real GDP does not give the actual actual condition of the welfare of the economy. These are known as the limitations of real GDP as an index of welfare. So there are four limitations in which the real GDP does not give the actual picture of the welfare of the country. Number one is composition of GDP. How the GDP composite? GDP is composite by producing all the final goods and services in an economy, and their goods come into the market for sale, like needle, matchbox, shoes, socks, airplane, metros. Every final good come into the market for sale. There are the two type of good. Number one is which is directly related to the welfare, like food, cloth, education, medical facilities, infrastructure, and another type of which is indirectly increase the welfare of people, like guns, tanks, ammunitions, aircraft, missiles. But if the real GDP is increases because of increase the production of guns, tanks, aircraft, missiles, then the real GDP will not be considered as the better index of welfare. Second is distribution of GDP. If the increased GDP is not equally distributed in the country, it will create the gulf between haves and have-nots. One side rich become richer and another side poor become poorer. In this condition, the real GDP will not be considered as the index of welfare, because some have the surplus while other poor people are struggler. Third is the non-monetary exchanges. India is a developing country. Still in India, some of the population, especially those people who are living in rural areas, they are facing the problem of barter system, or they are exchanges the services against goods. So these type of goods does not come into the market for sale, and in such circumstances our GDP will be underestimated, because some of the final goods does not considered in the real GDP. And the fourth limitations of the real GDP and index of welfare is externalities. What is the externalities? Externalities refers to The good or bad impact of an activity without paying or without paying or penalize penalize it means the externalities of two types. Good means positive, bad means negative. What is the good or bad activities? Suppose Mr. X maintain a garden, and the people who are living around this locality, they are enjoying in the garden. Kids are playing, old peoples are doing the yoga, evening and morning walk, but nobody is paying anything. So the welfare will increase, but how we will estimate the value of increased welfare, because we are not paying anything from the people? In such circumstances, the real GDP will be underestimated. Another side, negative or bad externalities. Suppose the smoke emitted from the chimneys of the industries, they create the pollution. So when the pollution created, obviously the welfare of the people will decrease, but nobody is penalized. So decreased welfare in such circumstances will not be subtracted from the real GDP. In these four conditions, this generalization between real GDP and welfare is failed, because these are the limitations. So, but no doubt, when we want to basically estimate the welfare of any country, we will take the help of definitely real GDP. But these are the four conditions where the real GDP does not gives the actual welfare level of the economy. Thank you.